everybody, and welcome to another ASMR video here on the channel. And finally, we are back in front of the camera. I sound so vain, but it's been a while. I finally have my equipment back. It's not been as long for you guys as it has been for me, because I filmed that ASMR story video a long time ago. And as you may know, I lent all of my equipment to my dad for something he was doing with work. So yeah, I finally got it back, and I figured what better way to, re-kick off, I guess. What better video to come back with than with a conspiracy theories video. I've had a few people following up on it, asking for more, and we're going to deliver, and we've got a very good one today. We are covering the hotly debated, the very popular Area 51. So on the channel, in terms of conspiracy theories, we've sort of touched on sort of aliens and things like that. We're going deeper today, so don't need too many more introductions. I've got 4 or 5 different websites in terms of my sources, just the various facts, well, not really facts, information, let's say. And yeah, it should be a whole lot of fun to go through some of these conspiracy theories. I always sort of set these up by saying I'm not trying to impose any false information on anyone. We just do these videos for a little bit of fun, because these theories are out there and it's just fun to go through them. And of course, we are whispering, hopefully ear to ear, if this works, so it's relaxing. So I hope you do enjoy. Leave a like if you're excited for the return of conspiracy theory videos, and I reckon let's get straight into it. So firstly, let's kick off with what do we actually know about Area 51. So, Area 51 refers to a map location and is the popular name for a United States Air Force base. It is at Groom Lake, a dry lake bed in the Nevada desert, 85 miles north of Las Vegas. What goes on inside is extremely secret. Members of the public are kept away by warning signs, electronic surveillance, and armed guards. It is also illegal to fly over Area 51, although the site is now visible on satellite images. The base has runways up to 12,000 feet long, so it's a big old base. The facility is next to 2 other restricted military bases. The Nevada test site, where US nuclear weapons were tested from the 50s to the 90s, and the Nevada Test and Training Range. The entire range covers more than 2.9 million acres of land. 2.9 million acres. That's crazy. According to the US military, it represents a flexible, realistic, multi-dimensional battle space to conduct testing, tactics development, and advanced training. So that's like their official statement for what these facilities and locations are used for. Why was it built? So we're sort of just setting up actually what Area 51 is. Area 51 was created during the Cold War between... Sorry, I was just checking I was actually recording then. I had a panic then. It's been a while since we've done this setup. Anyway, sorry. Area 51 was created during the Cold War between the US and the Soviet Union as a testing and development facility for aircraft, including the U-2 and SR-71 Blackbird recon planes. The Cold War it's come up a lot in our videos so far, mainly the history ones, and obviously now we've got the camera back, we're going to be bringing back history videos as well. And I'm thinking I'm going to do a Cold War video, because it's come up so much and it's really interesting, obviously. So I think we'll do that. Although it opened in 1955, its existence was only officially acknowledged by the CIA in August 2013, so over 50 years later. 4 months after the CIA's disclosure, President Obama became the first US president to mention Area 51 publicly. Wow. So, what goes on there today? Although official information is sparse, it is believed that the US military continues to use Area 51 to develop cutting-edge aircraft. About 1,500 people are believed to work there, many commuting on charter flights from Las Vegas. Annie Jacobson, who has written about the history of Area 51, told the BBC that some of the world's most advanced espionage programs are at the site. Area 51 is a test and training facility. The research began with the U-2 spy plane in the 1950s and has now moved on to drones, she says. So that's what the sort of official statements are, what goes on there. Now, the secrecy surrounding Area 51 has helped fuel many conspiracy theories, hence why we're talking about it here on the channel. Most famous is the claim that the site hosts an alien spacecraft and the bodies of its pilots after they crashed at Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. Very famous sort of incident, controversial, mysterious incident that we'll get into shortly. Others claim to have seen UFOs above or near the site, while some say they have been abducted by aliens and even experimented on before being returned to Earth. So, and they're the people that we deem crazy, but do they have a point? Are they telling the truth? Well, we may never know. We may find out tomorrow. We just don't know. And in 1989, a man named Robert Lazar claimed he had worked on alien technology inside Area 51. Won't talk too much about him now because he's going to get his own section, because Bob Lazar is a very, very interesting sort of figure, a key figure in sort of fueling the conspiracy theories around Area 51. So that sort of sets up what Area 51 actually is, what the official statements are, what purpose it serves, where it is, all of that. So now let's get into some conspiracy theories. So we're just gonna go through, because it's not just aliens that people believe happens at Area 51. There's a whole host of other things, and we're gonna go through them now. So, but first of all, we'll start with aliens. So UFO testing is conspiracy theory number 1. Area 51 has long been rumoured to be America's main base for testing captured and crashed UFOs. At the heart of this theory is the Roswell Incident. This was in 1947 when an occupied flying saucer was allegedly recovered from a crash site near the New Mexico town. The UFO and its inhabitants were said to have been taken to Area 51. The 1996 documentary Dreamland featured a 71-year-old mechanical engineer who claimed he worked on a flying disc simulator used to train US pilots. It was based on a crashed extraterrestrial flying saucer, according to the film. But others who have worked there say testing of captured aircraft was restricted to Soviet-built MiG fighters. Well, of course they'd say that. Anyways, we'll come back to the Roswell incident. I've got a separate section for that as well. So aliens, UFOs is the main theory. It's the one we associate with. You know, when we hear the term Area 51, it's where our mind instantly goes to. So the next theory that Area 51 what could happen there is weather control. Huge areas of the US suffer water shortages. I struggled with that one there. There are frequent disputes between farmers, ranchers and householders over access to water for irrigation, animals and domestic uses such as filling swimming pools and watering lawns. Meteorologists at Area 51 are thought to have experimented with cloud seeding, where chemicals are dropped into clouds from planes to try to make them produce rain. A separate section is said to have tried producing hurricanes and storms that could be directed at enemy countries, so weather warfare, could you imagine? Next conspiracy theory, the Majestic 12. The Majestic 12 is a purported committee of US scientists, military leaders, politicians and civil servants. According to conspiracy nuts, the shadowy group was created by President Harry Truman to manage alien investigations. Area 51 was supposedly a key location for the Majestic 12's activities, which vary wildly depending on who you ask. Alien hunters seem to think the group played a big role in examining the alleged alien specimen linked to the 1947 Roswell Incident. There is no concrete proof that this Majestic 12 ever existed. Of course there's not. Next conspiracy, energy weapons. Synonymous with claims of alien tech, autopsies at Area 51 are suggestions that scientists built futuristic weapons with what they found. From lasers that can vaporize a man in seconds to time travel gadgets, stories of machines built using alien tech stretch as far as the imagination can go. Again, there's no evidence that this technology ever existed. Future transport. Area 51 is said to be the centre hub for an underground rail system that crosses the whole continent of North America. A runway known as the Cheshire Airstrip, named in honour of Lewis Carroll's disappearing Cheshire cat from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, is believed to be visible only when water is sprayed on its cunningly camouflaged tarmac. I'm actually reading this bit for the first time. This is really interesting. There certainly are extensive underground facilities at Area 51. Many ex-employees have testified to this, but they say claims of a huge underground railway are lies. They also point out that satellite photos show easily identifiable airstrips at Groom Lake, removing any need for a secret one. That would be seriously cool if there was an underground system going across the whole of America, but seems like a pretty big project. But if they've got alien tech, then who knows? Anyways, speaking of aliens, let's go back to that. We've looked at the wider conspiracy theories of what could go down at Area 51, but really, aliens is the thing we're most interested in. So let's talk about that 1947 Roswell Incident. So, in the summer of 1947, a rancher discovered unidentifiable debris in his sheep pasture just outside Roswell, New Mexico. Although officials from the local Air Force base asserted that it was a crashed weather balloon, many people believed it was the remains of an extraterrestrial flying saucer. A series of secret dummy drops in New Mexico during the 1950s heightened these suspicions. Nearly 50 years after the story of the mysterious debris broke, the US military issued a report linking the incident to a top-secret atomic espionage project called Project Mogul. Still, many people continue to embrace the UFO theory, and hundreds of curiosity seekers visit Roswell and the crash site every year. I doubt there's really much there to look at. seems strange. Anyways, let's go through this incident. So, one morning around Independence Day 1947, about 75 miles from the town of Roswell, New Mexico, a rancher named Mac Brazel found something unusual in his sheep pasture: a mess of metallic sticks held together with tape, chunks of plastic and foil reflectors, and scraps of a heavy, glossy, paper-like material. Unable to identify the strange objects, Brazel called Roswell sheriff. The sheriff in turn called officials at the nearby Roswell Army Air Force Base. Soldiers fanned out across Brazel's field, gathering the mysterious debris and whisking it away in armoured trucks. Interesting. On July 8th, RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region was the top story in the Roswell Daily Record. But was it true? On July 9th, an Air Force official clarified the paper's report. The alleged flying saucer, he said, was only a crashed weather balloon. However, to anyone who had seen the debris, it was clear that whatever this thing was, it was no weather balloon. Interesting. Some people believed and still believe that the crashed vehicle had not come from Earth at all. They argue that the debris in Brazel's field must have come from an alien spaceship. Now, these dummy drops, as we mentioned, were what fueled the sort of skepticism of the official story. So during the 50s, the Air Force conducted a series of secret dummy drops over air bases, test ranges, and unoccupied fields across New Mexico. These experiments meant to test ways for pilots to survive falls from high altitude, sent bandaged, featureless dummies with latex skin and aluminium bones. Dummies that looked an awful lot like space aliens were supposed to fall from the sky onto the ground, whereupon military vehicles would descend on the landing site to retrieve the bodies as quickly as possible. So basically these alien-like dummies are being dropped out of the sky, and then the military quickly get in and whisk them away. To people who believed the government was covering up the truth about the Roswell landing, these dummy drops seemed just as suspicious. They were convinced that the dummies were actually extraterrestrial creatures who were being kidnapped and experimented on by government scientists. How interesting. So there's basically this sort of debate has gone on and on and on, and pretty much the officials still rebuke. They go against any theory that it was a UFO, that it was from outer space. They abide by this story, but I guess we'll never know. Well, hopefully, I'm kind of holding out. It wouldn't surprise me if at some point this year, aliens just came down, because this year, last year's just been an absolute write-off. It's been awful. So where can we go from here? Aliens. That's where we can go. Anyways, to finish off this video, the final section is we're going to talk about Bob Lazar. Now, Bob Lazar is an American conspiracy theorist who claims to have been hired in the late 80s to reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology. Okay. So since then, basically, if you don't know who Bob Lazar is, he is one of the most famous names in terms of claimants who propose the idea and really claim that Area 51, yes, there's alien tech, they've got aliens, they've got everything that the conspiracy theories say, it's all true. So, Lazar has achieved notoriety as an Area 51 conspiracy theorist. In May 1989, he appeared in an interview with investigative reporter George Knapp on Las Vegas TV. under the pseudonym Dennis with his face hidden to discuss his purported employment at S4. S4 is what he calls Area 51, basically. A subsidiary facility he claimed exists near the Nellis Air Force Base installation known as Area 51. So he claims that the facility was adjacent to Baboose Lake, which is located south of the main Area 51 facility. So he worked at this little facility close to the main thing. He claimed the site consisted of concealed aircraft hangars built into a mountainside. Lazar said that his job was to help with the reverse engineering of one of 9 flying saucers, which he alleged were extraterrestrial in origin. He claims one of the flying saucers, the one he coined the Sport model, was manufactured out of a metallic substance similar in appearance and touch to stainless steel. That's interesting because that sort of, isn't that what the article mentioned about the Roswell Incident, that a lot of the materials were kind of a bit like that. In a subsequent interview that November, Lazar appeared unmasked and under his own name, where he claimed that his job interview for work at the facility was contractor EG&G, and his employer was the United States Navy. EG&G stated it had no records on him. And it should be stated that since he's come out and said all this stuff, he got loads of degrees and accolades from uni, they've all been wiped off, and past employers refuse to acknowledge his existence. So he's risked basically his career to come out and say all this stuff. I really recommend you go and watch these interviews and all. Has he done podcasts? I might be thinking of someone else, but interviews he's done, because the way he talks, he's so set on it, and you kind of can't help but believe him. I don't know. Lazar has claimed that the propulsion of the studied vehicle ran on antimatter reactor and was fueled by the chemical element with atomic number 115, which at the time was provisionally named ununbentium and had not yet been artificially created. It was first synthesized in 2003 and later named moscovium. He further said that the propulsion system relied on a stable isotope of E115, which allegedly generates a gravity wave that allowed the vehicle to fly and to evade visual detection by bending light around it. So, as I was reading that, I was thinking, this is really clever. I'm not fully understanding really what's going on, but he's giving pretty detailed explanations into the technology of the flying saucers. By the way, this isn't me saying, I completely believe him. Do I believe him? I don't really know. He could just be another crackpot, but he could genuinely have worked there. We don't know. Lazar also said the craft was dismantled and the reactor he studied was topped by a sphere or a semi-sphere, which emitted a force field capable of repulsing human flesh. Wow. This is crazy. So I really need to rewatch this interview again, but from what I remember, he really does go into significant detail of the science and stuff behind. I had a brain pause then. Of all the science behind this alien tech which he was dealing with and reverse engineering. That's really crazy. It's crazy. What I will say was, this has nothing to do with his beliefs on aliens and whatever, but I'm pretty sure in the 90s he was convicted for his involvement in a prostitution ring. So he's not the most reliable figure, but go and watch his stuff for yourself and decide. But yeah, that's kind of everything I've got. So to summarise, are they doing cloud control, weather control? Are they doing other things, or is there actually aliens in Area 51? What do I think? I think there definitely could be. I think there definitely could be. And you've got to think. I mean, let me just see. Yeah, this bit, not done quite yet. Lazar additionally claimed that during his joining the program, he read briefing documents describing the historical involvement of Earth for the past 10,000 years with extraterrestrial beings described as grey aliens from a planet orbiting the twin binary star system Zeta Reticuli. So he says he's seen documents that proves historical involvement of aliens with our planet. And if you go back and watch the Egypt conspiracy theories video, I mean there's some evidence there that aliens assisted in the building of the Egyptian civilization, but maybe I'm just turning into an Area 51 nut, as one of those articles referred to them as. But I think it's definitely plausible. There's of course a lot of evidence suggesting that there is this higher life form, higher being, or at least other beings. They, aliens might be thick as shit, we don't know, but I doubt it. But it's certainly interesting. I'd love to know for sure. There are some things like that you really want to know before you die, and I really want to know if aliens are real before I die. But who knows? Let me know down below. Do you believe aliens exist, and what do you think is at Area 51? That's going to be the ending question of this video. What do you believe? Anyways, I really hope you did enjoy this video. It was kind of shorter than I anticipated. I apologise if it was. I need to stop apologising because often the video turns out just fine. Of course, more conspiracy theory videos to come, mystery videos to come. Sorry, the barn is a bit mad at the minute. I'm gonna attempt to give myself a haircut over the weekend. But yeah, it's good to be in front of the camera in the least faint sense possible, and good to produce some quality, hopefully quality content for you guys. But yeah, if you did enjoy, please do leave a like. Let me know, do you believe Area 51 is real? What goes on there? And leave suggestions down below for future conspiracy theories you'd like us to cover here. There's an endless amount, so let me know which ones you're interested in and we'll try to cover them. So yeah, leave a like if you did enjoy, and everybody subscribe if you are new. And until the next video, guys,